Nancy just discovered Simba in the cat tower. He's really growling.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's 10:45 a.m. and here's Boo. And I did something kind of stupid this morning. I thought it was a good idea at the time, but it was dumb. So I wanted to sleep in a little bit, and I just want to have a nice relaxing morning. We had really bad rain and thunderstorms last night. Like, I did not sleep good at all. It's supposed to be rainy with thunderstorms all day today, so I want today to be a nice relaxing day. So I figured, let me give the cats a few treats this morning before I do anything. And that way, you know, they'll leave me alone all morning. I could just, you know, get ready for my day at leisure, and then I'll give them their breakfast. Well, I gave them some treats. They had some of the Blue Buffalo Bursts. And I took a shower, I got dressed, and I was just about to put together some juice for myself when I heard that noise, that pumping noise. So I said, uh-oh, who is it? And it was coming from the living room. So I looked in the living room, and it was Boo. And he was making that horrible pumping noise, and I knew he was going to be vomiting. So, thankfully, I had a paper platter not too far away, waiting for a situation just like that. So I grabbed it, and I was able to get it under Boo's mouth just in time. And this is what happened. I caught Boo's vomit. And I'm sharing this because I am so happy and proud of the fact that I was able to do that. Here's Stella. So the moral of this story is that for anyone who has multiple cats, it's a good idea to keep paper plates stashed away somewhere in almost every room, so that if a situation arises where you hear a cat who's just about to vomit, you can catch it and save yourself a lot of cleanup. It's 11:45 a.m. and the cats are having their brunch today. They're having homemade raw food. And Simba is completely back to normal. He's trying to eat everyone else's food, so I have to sit here and keep an eye on Boo, because sometimes Boo is the slowest eater. Splash plows through his food. He's the fastest eater, and then Simba's usually number 2. And what usually happens is after Splash eats his food, he then goes over to Stella and eats her food, or whatever is like left of her food, which he did right now. And I was cleaning up the kitchen, so I didn't catch it. So I just came in here, I put a little bit more of the freeze-dried chicken on Boo's food, because that's sometimes what he waits for. And Simba's trying to steal his food, so I have to keep an eye on things over here. But Simba's back to normal. So this morning, Simba jumped on my bed and like gave me crazy headbutts. Like, he hit my face so hard with his head a few times. I was like, what are you doing, Simba? So then I had to give him pets on his head. Boo is looking at the other plates to see if they have anything better. Then he's going to go back to his. So I don't give the cats any dessert after their breakfast, but if they eat their dinner well, then they do get dessert in the form of like half a Shiba each, or I'll take a Fancy Feast pate, like a low carb one, and I'll split it 4 ways, and that'll be their little dessert. So here's Boo. He's waiting for more chicken on top. So Boo is what's known as a conniver, and he just connived me out of some more chicken on top of his food, and then he'll eat the rest of his food. This is what I have left of the freeze-dried chicken. I have a bunch of large pieces, which I then crush up and put on their food. Now, I did place an order for more. I ordered another bucket for the upstairs cats and another bucket for the downstairs cats. And I think I've been going through about a bucket a month per group of cats, because they do get this like as a treat, and they get some on their meals. And they like it as much, if not better, than Crunchies, and it's better for them since it's not full of like carbs and iffy ingredients. So now the kittens are just about to get their breakfast. I came downstairs, I'm like, what is that water noise? Because there's a lot of rain outside, like a lot of rain. But I put a bird bath video on for them. So Thankfully, it's not a leak. Look what they're doing to the wall here. I don't know why they're scratching this, but this is gonna have to be repaired. I don't know what's going on with that. So the first thing that I do is brush as many cats as I can. Richard gets the most brushing because he needs the most brushing. And Richard is getting so big. I feel like he recently had a growth spurt. And I think little Eva is actually going to be getting big because her paws seem so big for her. I'm sitting on the rebounder right now. Richard's rubbing himself against my feet and my legs. Be nice, Nancy. What are you attacking Richard for? She's probably mad that he was getting all the brushing and she wasn't getting any. Okay, Nancy, you're getting brushed also. You are getting brushed also. Okay. Maybe they're a little bit cranky because their breakfast is a little bit late today. So they've been eating anytime between like 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Right now it's almost noon. But it's a rainy day. And it's the perfect day to just stay home and eat soup and get things done on like a computer or read some books or, you know, just take it easy. Do something that's not like physically strenuous or anything, something more relaxing. It's 12:30 p.m. and Nancy's up here. She wanted to come up, so I let her up. All the other cats are out and about. None of the doors are shut. So Nancy's wandering around. She walked into Boo's room. Boo hissed at her. She's being very cautious, which is fine. I put the toy on for her. She can go in my room if she wants to, and I could shut her in there, and that would be fine. So Splash and Stella are in this room, and Simba is in a cat tower in the dining room. And I do have a spray bottle in my hand. So Nancy, there's Nancy. Can you see her? Her tail is really big, and she's waving it back and forth. And Splash is growling at her. And yesterday, I put in all the new felloways, so hopefully that'll keep everyone calmer than normal. I'm looking for my felloway spray right now, so I could use that instead of the spray bottle. But I have to locate it. Nancy's fine up here as long as she behaves. So like last night, Sammy was up here, and Sammy was fine because Sammy behaved. And when Sammy wanted to go back downstairs, she went back downstairs. So if Nancy would just chill out, she would be fine also. And I can't go over to Nancy and then pet her because when I've done that in the past, she takes that as like permission to attack one of the other cats. I don't know why she does that. Now she's howling a little bit. Splash is growling, but Splash is still here. He didn't run to hide. So that's a really positive sign. You're doing good, Splash. You're doing good. You know, he needs to stand his ground with these cats. And it's just her versus the other four right now. So her tail has gotten smaller. Like her tail was all puffed out before, so it's not as puffy. So she settled down a little bit. If she settles down, she's fine. Like, there's no reason for her to attack the other cats. They're not being mean to her. Like, everyone just wants to go about their day. So Splash just took himself under my bed, which is fine. So I shut the door so he could have safety in there. I don't want her going in there after him. You're okay, Nancy. You're okay. You don't have to wave your tail around like that. So here's Stella, and she's growling at Nancy. Nancy's walking around. It's fine that Stella's growling. Nancy just came in Boo's room, and she's under the day sofa. So if she settles down under there, that's fine. Boo's by the window. Do you see him over there? The thing with Nancy is she could at any moment just jump out from under the day sofa and charge at Boo and try to attack him. Not that he can't hold his own, but if that can be avoided, it would be good to avoid it. Another thing that I wanted to mention was that when I took Boo to the vet to have his teeth checked, and I was talking about how his other tooth was bleeding, then I took him to the animal hospital and they pulled it. The vet told me that if it was bleeding, it means that there was trauma to the tooth, and you know, he could have gotten knocked in the mouth or something, or hit it on something, or have been in a fight or something. So far, he hasn't had any like really bad, you know, knockout fights with them like he did with Hydrox outside. But, you know, there have been instances where either he or one of the kittens have like scared each other, and then he might have like hit himself on like a piece of furniture or something. So I thought that was interesting that she said it was most likely trauma related because of the blood. And then I was like, well, he was grooming himself a lot. You know, he was doing a lot of extra over grooming. And I thought, well, maybe that would cause trauma to the tooth. And, you know, she didn't say yes or no with regards to that. She said it was kind of, you know, it might be a possibility. So here's Nancy. She's hanging out under the day sofa. So Stella just went in my room because she wanted to, and I opened the door for her and let her in. Oh, Boo's hissing. I was like, what is that noise? I thought it was behind me. There's Nancy's head. You see her? Nancy, you want to go back downstairs? You want to go in the other room? Come on. There's no cats in the other room. No one's in the living room right now. Come on. So out of all of the cats to be up here with the older cats, Nancy's the one that really needs the most socializing with them because she is the biggest wild card. So as I mentioned, Stella and Splash are in my room, and Simba's in the cat tower in the dining room, which is fine. And maybe she wants to play with that toy. I don't know. If she settles down in one of the cat towers, that would be good. She loves to lay underneath this coffee table, so if she goes and lays underneath that, that would be good also. I want her to spend time with the other cats, but it needs to be a gradual process. And I think today went well because Splash did not immediately run and hide. Neither did Simba. Simba's still in the cat tower watching Nancy. And Boo and Stella have been growling and hissing, but that's fine. They're just like letting her know. Nancy has fallen in love with the spray bottle. She's been rolling around here on the rug like this. I don't know why. Oh, maybe she still smells some catnip from the other day, even though I vacuumed it up. Nancy just discovered Simba in the cat tower. He's really growling. I have the spray bottle ready. Nancy just took herself underneath the coffee table and Simba's underneath the kitchen table. And like an idiot, I didn't check the spray bottle and it was set on mist instead of spray. I was so stupid. Always check the spray bottle before using it. Here's Simba. He's under the table. He's okay. So I'm going to hang out here with Simba because I'd like to have some breakfast, and I'm just going to work on some stuff here in the kitchen. And Nancy's underneath the coffee table. Now I could shut the door to Boo's room, or I could leave it open. You did good, Simba. You did really good. So Nancy just took herself downstairs. She had to walk past Simba, and Simba's been growling really loud. loud. But Nancy walked in slow motion, and she took herself downstairs, so that's fine. I just gave Simba a few treats so he knows he did good. Good job, Simba. You did really good, Simba. It is 1 p.m. and the cats put themselves in my bedroom, so Stella, Splash, and Simba are in this room, Boo's in his room. I shut the doors, and now I'm going to let all the kittens up. Nancy's talking to Ziggy. There's Ziggy. There's Nancy. Boo's in the room. He's on the shelf by the window. He's just watching them. I don't know why Nancy wants to be in this room. There's Goldie. She was just walking by. If Nancy behaves, then everything is fine. There's Ziggy. There's Nancy. Nancy was crying at the door. That's why I opened the door. I was like, you want to go in? And she wanted to go under the day sofa. And then Ziggy was meowing at her. The Goldie girls like sticking together during the day, like they all hanging out together. And that is Goldie, Ziggy, Nancy, and Sammy. Usually the 4 of them. Little Eva likes to spend a lot of time downstairs. Oh, there goes Nancy. It's okay if she just looks at Boo. He's growling. As long as she behaves, everything is fine. So now Ziggy and Goldie are under the day sofa, and they should be fine with Boo. I've never seen Ziggy and Goldie try to attack any of the cats. The only ones that I've seen try to attack are Nancy, Richard, and Ringo. That was it. Those 3. That's Goldie. Look at Nancy's tail. Goldie doesn't want any trouble. Ziggy doesn't want any trouble. It's just Nancy that wants trouble. Nancy is at the point where if she sees a spray bottle, she does kind of behave a little bit better. And I'm holding a spray bottle right now. Here it is. And I've made sure that it's on spray and not mist. Someone's purring. I think Goldie's purring. You're okay, Boo. You're okay. So this morning, Simba and Splash got into a little argument, and Boo went to break it up, and there's a groundhog eating my tomatoes outside. Get out of there! So this year I have some patio tomatoes that are doing so good. Like I've never had patio tomatoes do this good. And they're right outside of the greenhouse. They're on the far side of the greenhouse. And this groundhog wants to eat them. I don't want the groundhog eating my tomatoes. So they all left the room, but they're watching from the hall. They'd like to come in this room and hang out, but they're not going to right now. They have the back door to look out of. They don't have to be by the windows in Boo's room, so they could easily look out of this back door.